Hi, my name is Stephanie and I'm going to give a quick tutorial on how to disassemble, clean, and reassemble a Dell Inspiron 1520 laptop. So for this project you're going to want to have a Phillips head screwdriver, a flat head screwdriver, tweezers, an electric static discharge bracelet or strap, canned air, Q-tip, tissue, something to clean dust out with, a pen and paper for notes, and a container for your screws. To start, turn the laptop off, unplug the power cord from the wall and the laptop power jack, and remove the battery. If there's a screw holding your optical drive in place, remove it and put it in a safe place. A pillbox works well for keeping screws separated, but in a pinch, you can just fold up a piece of paper like a fan. The grooves in the paper will hold the screw in place. Then, slide the optical drive from its bay by gently pushing on it with a small screwdriver head or a scribe. Turn the laptop over and open the display as wide as it will go. Gently insert a small flathead screwdriver into the notch on the right side of the hinge cover. Lift the hinge cover up, working your way from right to left. Locate and remove the two screws at the top of the keyboard that are holding it in place. They'll be marked with a K and M 2.5 × 5. Carefully pull the keyboard up and out, being careful not to snap off any of the keys. With the keyboard lifted up, you'll be able to see a ribbon cable held in place by a blue latch. Flip the latch up to release the cable and set the keyboard aside. Close the display and turn the computer over so that the bottom faces up. Loosen the two captive screws that hold the mini card compartment shut and set aside the compartment cover. This is where the wireless cards and antenna are housed. Disconnect any cables attached to your wireless card or cards, being sure to note where they connect to. Remove the two M 2.5 8mm screws from the back of the computer. Then remove the two M 2.5 8mm screws from the bottom that hold the display to the body of the computer. Carefully turn the computer over and unscrew the captive grounding screw. Then disconnect the display cable from the motherboard. Disconnect the camera and microphone cable from the motherboard. Gently pull the cables from underneath their plastic tabs. By lifting gently up on the display, you can remove it from the computer. Turn the computer over and remove the 11 M 2.5 8mm screws from the bottom of the computer. Mine are marked in red in this photo, but the location of yours may differ slightly. Turn the computer over and remove the two 2x3mm screws from the top of the palm rest. Disconnect the touchpad from the motherboard. Remove the palm rest by gently pulling up, starting from the right side and moving over to the left. Remove the graphics card by loosening the three captive screws holding it to the motherboard. Loosen the four captive screws holding the thermal cooling assembly to the motherboard and carefully remove. Remove the two screws holding the fan to the motherboard and disconnect the fan connector from the motherboard. Now you are able to clean the heat sinks on the cooling units and also clean any dust and dirt out of the fan. After the parts are clean, you're ready to reassemble. After screwing the fan into place, it may be difficult to thread the fan connector back under the motherboard. It's alright to simply place the cable alongside the edge of the motherboard to reconnect. From here, we are simply tracing our steps backwards. When replacing the microphone, camera, and display cables, be sure to tuck them under the plastic tabs and plug in the display cable connector before you thread the wireless antenna back through the hole in the case. This helps keep all of the cables secured down so that you can replace the hinge cover properly. When replacing the keyboard, push the cable ribbon as far as it will go into the slot before securing the latch. Check that the ribbon is properly placed by gently pulling on it. If it slides out, it's not far enough in and your keyboard will not work. Replace the hinge cover gently from left to right and push down on each part of it to be sure it fully clicks into place. Check your notes before you reattach your wireless card antenna. If in doubt, look at the card. In the photo shown here, each connector is color-coded to where it plugs in. When replacing the screws in the bottom of the case, wait until they are all partially screwed in before tightening them all the way. Slide your optical drive back into the bay and replace its holding screw. Replace the battery, turn the computer over, and turn it on to be sure it works. If everything went well, then at this point your laptop is running and your fan probably sounds a lot better. If it's not, there are 3 issues that I ran into when I first tried to do this. The first was the power button not working. If this is the case, check the display and camera microphone cables to be sure that they're lying flat. If they're not, it means that your hinge cover isn't lying flat either, and that will cause the power button to not work. The second is the touchpad not working. If this happens, check under the keyboard and make sure that it was reconnected properly. If your keyboard isn't functioning, check the ribbon cable. It's probably come loose and wasn't securely attached. I hope this helps, and I'll see you next time.